we can follow with the next round table. In fact, the next round table is devoted to what? Wait a minute. I don't know, the second, yes, here. Is devoted to Magallanes ELCANO journey, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the pleasure to invite Benin, Togo, Indonesia, Philippines, and Argentina to talk about this first journey around the world. I believe Pai Aristide and Do Coffee and Adita and Jason and Leticia and Valeria are in the room. Están en la sala.
I saw practically all of them before.
Yes,
When
me too. But in any case,
was here.
Yes, here.
Hello.
Hello. Please present yourself. Introduce yourself. Just turn on the microphone. Valeria. Hello, Valeria. Valeria is from Argentina. I know she is very nervous because in Argentina we speak Spanish. And as you know, we speak
Voy a hacer el
Spanish.
intento.
No, don't worry, Valeria. We are here to help. And I don't know if the rest of the people for the round table is here. Please introduce yourself.
Jason.
Good morning. I'm the head teacher of IFD number 13 school from Zapala. It's a small town in the middle of Neuquén. It's one of the provinces in Argentina. So I'm here with my workmates. Leticia is one of them. So I just wanted to introduce our school to the rest of the world. Thank you very much. And I'll give the word to Leti.
Okay,
thank you
great.
very much for the invitation.
No, thank you
Hello.
to be here.
Bueno, verán que hablamos poco inglés, entonces optamos por llamar al director de nuestro colegio. Bueno, entonces, nosotros, I am Leticia Ruiz, the teacher the physical chemistry. Apology, mi pronunciación es bastante mala.
Don't worry, Leticia.
Bien,
You can communicate each other. So very good. Let's go.
Bien. The navigation instruments. Bien, un poco en castellano y un poco en inglés, porque estamos complicadas nosotras. La idea era poder ver cómo podíamos resolver el uso de algunos instrumentos de navegación. Nosotros estuvimos investigando de cómo hacerlo.
Wait a minute. Please turn off the mics, the people who is not speaking.
And maybe Nicholas could translate a little bit.
Yes, please. Nicholas.
Okay, I will try because I don't know what. Okay, Leti, habla y yo voy tratando de traducir, dale.
Dale. Bien, entonces, los instrumentos de navegación.
Okay, the instruments of navigation.
Entonces, en esta expedición,
This expedition.
Uno de los primeros problemas que tuvieron.
Aristide,
one of the first problems they had.
The micro, Aristide, thank you.
Fue situarse en alta mar.
It was very difficult for them to situate offshore.
Entonces, para ello tuvieron que recurrir a una navegación astronómica.
So they had to take an astronomic navigation.
Así como adaptar y adaptarse a nuevos instrumentos.
They had to adapt to new instruments.
que les permitían obtener la posición de un barco.
Which let them know the position of some ships.
Y señalarla sobre una carta náutica.
To locate them on a map. I don't know exactly the word for that in English, honestly.
No, a map. Yes, it's okay.
Map.
Mediante las coordenadas geográficas.
Okay, to measure the coordinates, geographic
La
coordinates. Latitude.
Bien, arco de meridiano entre el Ecuador y la observación.
¿Lo puedes repetir de vuelta, Leti?
Sí, bien, entre la latitud, bien, el arco meridiano entre el Ecuador y el observador.
Okay, between the equator and no sé la otra palabra, Leti.
Meridiano entre el Ecuador, observador.
Oh, okay, observer, okay.
Y la longitud. Bien.
Okay.
Y la longitud.
Length.
Arco de Ecuador entre el meridiano de referencia y el observador.
Okay. At the equator between the equator. ¿Lo puedes repetir de vuelta, Leti?
She's talking about
arco de Ecuador.
Sorry. She's talking about the definition of geographical coordinates. So it's okay. It's the distances between the main planes, the equator, and the position of the people who is trying to determine the latitude or trying to determine the longitude. So she's describing the situation to put your place on the map, on the globe. That's all, Nicolás.
Bueno, gracias, Nico, por la traducción, nos salvó el directo.
Leticia, ¿podrías por favor contar la experiencia? I would like to say that Leticia is part of our training teachers in Argentina through the NASE program. So now I know she's nervous, but I would like to ask Leticia for the experience using the quadrant. Querría preguntarte por la experiencia que tuvieron usando el cuadrante. Contá lo que hicieron, contá la actividad en el marco del entrenamiento NASE, de los cursos NASE, pero también del uso de estos instrumentos con los chicos en la escuela. I asked her about the experience of the use of the instruments with the students and for herself after the NASE course.
Bueno, la verdad que fue muy buena la recepción de los alumnos, porque ellos pudieron ver, sí, muy buena recepción.
Go on, Nicolás.
Son 38 alumnos de nuestro curso.
It was a very good experience. They accepted the offer, and they are 38 students.
Los cuales venían de una pandemia en la cual no habían realizado trabajo manual, con lo cual les trajo una nueva experiencia para ellos, y también la no dependencia del celular.
Okay, they didn't work practically at all during the pandemic. Okay, because of things that we know here in Argentina, especially in Neuquén, children and teenagers didn't go to school at all. So they use their phones and technology, I suppose, as anyone around the world, a lot. So the experience was great because it allowed them not to use the phone and technology and to do handy jobs, manual things. Dale.
Y lo que les permitió es poder también, con el caso del cuadrante y el reloj de sol, pudieron determinar, por ejemplo, con el reloj de sol, la variación del horario, el horario que ellos veían en su reloj, del horario que veían con este reloj de sol, y el trabajo del cuadrante empezaron a calcular alturas de edificios que teníamos cerca. Nosotros, nuestro colegio está en el centro, entonces pudieron empezar a hacer esos cálculos, y la verdad que se sintieron bastante, decir, con herramientas tan sencillas, resolvieron problemas que por ahí ellos creían que no estaban a nuestro alcance.
Okay, they used, I think it's solar clock? Is that the correct word?
Sundial.
Solar clock?
Is sundial.
Okay, sundial. They used that to compare the time they had on their watches with the word you said. I don't remember.
Sundial.
Okay, and it allowed them to solve simple problems that we have every day, and they realized how useful that was. Dale, Leti.
Bueno, así que bueno, ellos estuvieron armando el reloj de sol toda la semana pasada que tuvimos clases. Nosotros hemos tenido recién 2 semanas más o menos, entonces han ido resolviendo varios problemas. Primero el armado, el ver esto de para qué servía. Se compenetraron mucho con el tema del viaje de Magallanes y ELCANO, viendo cómo hacían, porque la verdad que a ellos les resultó súper interesante decir, bueno, miramos las estrellas. Primero, bueno, ahí estaban muy complicados, que era una cuestión que después tendríamos que hablar, nosotros con el poder ver la Cruz del Sur y cómo hacerlo de noche, porque fue otro problema. Nosotros trabajamos de día, así que en la noche no hemos hablado con el director, que ahora se encuentra acá, para preguntarle si podemos hacerlo también. Pero los chicos les gustó mucho el hecho de poder trabajar cosas que ellos no habían visto, y sobre todo poder bajar eso que ellos veían en los libros de historia o geografía, bajarlo a algo que es tangible para ellos.
Okay, as I said before, they assembled the device, and it allowed them to realize that the things that are on books are useful in real life. So they discovered like a new world, which allowed them exactly that, to use the things that they read every day in real life. Dale, Leti. Yo voy haciendo un resumen de lo que decís, Leti.
Ah, bueno, dale, gracias.
Can I
pero
add
bueno,
something?
la verdad que estamos ahí.
I would like to add something because it's important for the rest of the people. This kind of activity is not just about astronomy. It's about math, geography, geometry, and also history. This demonstrates that the science is not an enterprise of just one person, of one discipline. It's an enterprise of a lot of things. The science is not just one, it's one, but with different approaches to the nature. And when we use the instruments from the past, we need to go to the roots. And for this, in the school, the important thing is we are using a lot of devices and a lot of tools. Mathematical tools, physical tools, chemistry, geography, history. And it's good to show the way in which the humans know how the nature is functioning. And we know how to, for example, know our own planet, how to determine the shape, the size, is using the tools we are learning in the school, and applying this knowledge to produce big knowledge. So, go on, vamos, Valeria. Tenés un par de minutos nada más.
Bueno, buenos días a todos, gracias por permitirme estar acá. Soy Valeria Palma, y en esta mesa hablaremos sobre el primer viaje en barco alrededor de la Tierra, realizado entre 1519 y 1522.
Valeria, muy cortito, porque el tiempo
Sí.
ya se agotó.
Bien.
Okay.
Bueno. Por ahí comentar qué instrumentos se utilizaron. comentar que Antonio de Pigafetta fue uno de los tripulantes que fue el que escribió la crónica, ¿no es cierto? Y bueno, algunos de los instrumentos náuticos que nombró en esa crónica, puede decirse que eran las cartas de marear, o pares de compases, los cuadrantes de madera. Sí.
No, I don't know if Nicolas wants to translate.
¿Y eso?
Yes, sorry. Vale, ¿podés repetir eso último de vuelta?
Sí. Antonio de Pigafetta
No.
fue uno de los tripulantes.
No,
Okay,
wait a minute, because we have not a lot of time. You are talking about the materials used by the Antonio de Pietrafetta. We hear about this in the video we just finished a couple of minutes ago, and they use instruments to determine the position on the globe, permitting to navigate. So go on. Trata de resumir lo que hicieron y lo que querés decir, porque tenemos 4 o 5 personas más para contar sobre esto. She's talking about the travel around the world and the instruments they use to concrete this travel, this trip. Okay, go on.
Bien, los instrumentos que nosotros lo que averiguamos y pudimos escribir es que los instrumentos de navegación que utilizaron a Magallanes y Elcano principalmente eran las cartas de marear.
They researched about these travels, and they found that Magallanes Elcano used maps to navigate, and the other
pares
is
de
compasses and
cuadrantes de madera.
The quadrants, the good quadrants.
Donde el observador, que lo habían explicado en uno de los videos,
yes. We saw in the previous video, we saw how they use the instruments.
Yes. El astrolabio de metal y de madera también.
2 kinds of astrolabes, in wood and in metal.
Bueno, y relojes de arena, que en ese momento lo llamaban ampolletas también.
Oh, yes, and sun clocks.
Yes. Y bueno, por ahí lo que nosotros queríamos comentar también, que durante los viajes lo que ellos trataron de hacer en todo momento es costear los lugares donde iban, ¿no?
Yes, they follow the shores to see the continent at the same time they travel.
Claro, para poder guiarse. Cuando cruzan por el estrecho, que ahora se llama estrecho de Bering,
when they cross the pass through one to the other oceans, the Bering Strait.
Claro, ellos descubren, mirando al cielo del Pacífico, la Cruz del Sur, que luego más tarde se utiliza.
Yes, they discovered the Southern Cross, as we saw in the videos.
Bien. Bueno, no me quiero extender más porque si no me parece que ya estamos.
Okay. The most important thing in this case is that Valeria and Leticia share this knowledge with their students, and they produce some material, and they are measuring the latitude for the equinox to equinox activity proposed by NASE. Measure the latitude in each place of the Earth. Well, Rosa, go on. Thank you.
I suggest to invite to Aristide that because he's in screen, and I think it's not necessary to ask for him. And I know that Aristide speak French, but I will try to translate him, okay? Aristide, okay. I would like that you explain to us, especially the feeling of your students and what is the opinion of them. It was surprised or not, if they feel that when you invite to them to do the activities and to prepare materials, what the general opinion, what is the opinion of other colleagues, other teachers, okay? Aristide? Hi. Yes, please, it's your turn.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Si vous voulez expliquer quelque chose avec l'opinion des étudiants et d'autres professeurs qui travaillent avec vous pour faire l'expérience.
L'équipe essaie de faire à sa manière l'expérience. Seulement que nous avons eu des difficultés. Et nous tendons vers la période de la pluie où, quand il sonne midi, le ciel est couvert. Donc, à midi, ils ne réussissent pas à prendre la hauteur du soleil. Et peut-être c'est après midi qu'ils prennent la hauteur. Donc, c'est avec beaucoup de difficultés.
Alors,
que nous avons
je vais essayer de faire la traduction. The general situation was that it was cloudy at midday, and of course it was at midday the moment that they need to take the measurement. Okay, this is normal in astronomy when you need one moment and then this moment is cloudy. Yes. Continues, Aristide. Yes, please.
Okay. Donc il y a aussi beaucoup qui n'avaient pas maîtrisé l'expérience, surtout que le document est rédigé en anglais. Donc, nous avons eu beaucoup de peine à comprendre. Mais avec le temps, on a compris que certains ont fait. Il y a, avec quelques erreurs, bon, on s'est retrouvés. Il y a Christophe, il a fait ça le jeudi passé, mais il a pris les mesures à 13h. 13h dépassé. Donc, il a déjà dépassé le midi. Donc, je n'ai pas voulu prendre ces résultats pour envoyer. Voilà.
Yeah. Alors, je vais traduire. The teachers has problem because they have difficulties to read the document that we distribute in English. And when they try to do, the quadrant was perfect. I can say to you because they sent to me some pictures and was perfect, but they have difficulties to take the measurement with the small point of sun in their hands, okay? And they make, at first they make a mistake, but after that they have a very serious people working. They train me several times, and together we work and they finally do it. Okay. Yes, I said that you have some. J'avais dit que vous avez quelques difficultés, mais avec plaisir, je vous donnais quelques informations complémentaires et vous avez fait très bien. Alors, je voudrais que vous expliquiez la solution finale, que c'est, je pense que excellent.
L'expérience finale que j'ai réussi à le faire, c'était juste hier, samedi, où j'ai été un peu la présence du soleil. À midi, là, le ciel aussi était couvert. Donc, ça a dépassé vers midi 19, où j'ai réussi à le faire. Et pratiquement, j'étais à la maison, j'étais seul. J'ai pris la mesure, j'ai envoyé les résultats à Maria. J'aurais bien voulu que l'expérience soit faite avec mes élèves au collège, mais c'était un week-end. On ne peut pas avoir les élèves en week-end. Ça m'a fait mal. Mais nous avons une semaine culturelle pour l'astronomie et au cours de cette semaine, on va essayer de faire cette expérience avec les élèves, que ce soit au collège et au primaire. Nous avons fait un programme pour pouvoir faire ces genres d'expériences avec les élèves. Et d'ici à là, je vais vous envoyer les photos et les résultats qu'ils vont prendre pendant cette semaine culturelle de l'astronomie. Voilà.
Oui, alors je vais expliquer. Finalement, après, excusez-moi, en anglais. I would like to say that the final result was very positive, but the problem was that only he had the possibility to take the measurement yesterday without the students, because yesterday they didn't have classes, okay? But finally he obtained the result. He can do it at, not at midi exactly, he do it at midi past 90 minutes, because it was Claudia Midi. And then the result in any case, I think it is very, very good because obtained only one mistake of 1 degree in the latitude measurement. That was very, very good, very positive. And he said that they organized this activity during the cultural week of the school. It was a pity that students cannot do it because it was cloudy, but he planned to explain to them and to repeat after this session on Monday or Tuesday. And in this case, students can see that they really can obtain the result. Then I would like to say to Aristide that congratulations, because you insist and finally you do it. And I think this is exactly the mentality of one scientist person, no? That insist and finally do it. Merci beaucoup parce que vous êtes une personne très constante. Vous répétez toutes les fois qu'il faut nécessaire. Je pense que c'est la mentalité d'un bon scientiste. C'est très bien que votre élève pouvoir votre exemple pour faire l'activité avec de good, final, bon résultat. Merci beaucoup. Merci Aristide. Après, je vais montrer quelques photos que vous m'avez envoyées. OK? Alors, je ne sais pas si Medar est ici. Yusuf from Indonesia. Adita Yusuf.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Yes. Could you tell us?
Yes, I'm here.
Our interest especially is about the feeling of the students, the feeling of the teachers, and the general conception about with simple materials you can get some information about your position in the world, for instance, no?
I share the presentation. I have some pictures with them.
Okay.
Excellent. Bravo.
Okay.
In principle, you can. Yes.
You see it?
Yes. Very good.
Actually, we do it with several students because we in the pandemic we have limited students to come to the institution, so we don't have more students. Yeah, several students. I did is give them briefing and explanation about the quadrant and sundial and the globe and compass. The 4 elements is very subtle to them because they need to understand it before we make the instruments like that. Also, the students is so out because they think they just known that we can use the sun to determine the latitude. Nah, they just know that we can use the pole star only, but now they to use the sun to determine the latitude like that. Nah, and the students to do the experiments. Nah, this is when we making the foldable sundial. Nah, we have to do some experimentation with we make we don't use the template you send. I'm sorry because we have the almost 5 degrees latitude south, so above the your latitude like that. Nah, so we have to make some changes and we use the paper only, and we don't use the scissor, only use the template, pen, and paper glue. I think we have to minimize the tools we use before we teach it to the other people, so the people is this is very easy to make like that. This is their thinking. I just sharing the thought. Nah, the next is we use to making the quadrant. We print the template and finding some cardboard in the corner, and we take it to the class, and we found some unused pen and some double tape and some small string. We use some shoestring. I think they found it in somewhere in the class. Then we use some weights, a small nut or maybe some small iron like that. Nah, they cut it, and they can just making the as like the template I teach before. Nah, this is the result. Our modified sundial. And then we can use it in 5 degrees latitude in south. Then we try to measure the height of the other building in the other side of the window, and we take pictures together like this. And we try to trying the instruments. Yeah, it's very cloudy, and we eventually have sun shining at 2 p.m. I think. Now but it's not in the meridian, the sun. So we have to, we haven't tried the real thing like that. Yeah, maybe that's the what I can share. Maybe this in this presentation also there is 2 people who tried to build the thing. There is Mr. Hendrawan and Mrs. Rahmi. Maybe they can share the.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, they also make the quadrant. Maybe hello, Mr. Rahmi.
Excellent work, Yusuf. And don't worry that one day will be not cloudy and you can do it.
Yeah.
And please send me your PowerPoint. It's very nice, and we would like to use it in other places. Please make the experiment and send us also the results. Congratulations.
Okay.
Excellent work.
Remember that you have 6 months. So in any moment of the year, you will have sun on the sky.
You're sure that one day will not be cloudy. Jason from Philippines is here. Jason, Philippines.
Hi.
Yes, there he is.
Hello there.
Hello.
Good evening from Philippines.
Good evening. Good morning from the South America.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me here. So I'm representative from Philippines, and my group mates are Miss Sheila Rose, Miss Lisa, and Mr. Pastor. Ayan. So it's my pleasure to be here, and I'm actually a graduate student and a teacher as well. So I'd like to share our journey in this session. And it's very important for us to it's very important for me and my colleagues now that we are became part of this project of NASE. So I'd like to show you some pictures of our activities before, and hopefully we can have a very good discussion with our students using this materials in the future, since we are just starting to have a face-to-face classes in the Philippines. So we hope that this pandemic will will stop, and we're going to apply this in our classes. So the first part of our maybe this is the second one. This is the second one. We conducted with Miss Rosa, with Miss Sheila Rose, Miss Lisa, and Mr. Christian Pastor, the second training of NASE course Boxes Online in Astroculture. And we have the first one, which is workshop on teaching astronomy for in-service science teachers. And this is all about astrobiology. So we have some pictures here. All right, so we are very happy though. Ayan, these are our pictures. So these are our group pictures. Okay. So on behalf of our group here in the Philippines, thank you so much for giving us those trainings. And we are requesting actually to use this toolkit, this toolkit from NASE to use in our classroom. And personally, of course, I have still my remembrance when in our training, and it's really very useful. It's very useful, determining the locations, the latitude, the longitude, and just in theory, but also in practice. So it's very important in our instructional materials. So these designs and all we save all of it, and we are trying to use it in our class in this coming semester, because this coming semester will be our first face-to-face class in the Philippines. So we are not actually having yet this class in a daytime together with our students. So first of all, the first activity, which is the use of the ruler, and then the sundial, and then the quadrant. It's very exciting, and the most exciting part is the one that we use. When you turn, you can actually locate the different constellations. I still remember that activity where you can cut the two into different hemisphere, the north and the southern hemisphere, and then you can locate the locations of the constellations. So it's very good activity. So once again, thank you so much for imparting this training with us, and we are hoping that we can have the next part of this training so that we can apply that already in our classroom. Because in the Philippines, the most useful materials that we can have is improvisation. We don't have much materials in the locality when it comes to astronomy. We don't have telescopes. We don't have binoculars. We can only have mirrors. And these materials coming from NASA is very useful, and it's very good. It's very good. So we are adopting it already in our own practice. And in remote areas, like in mountainous areas, this is a very good improvised materials in order to teach astronomy and in order to teach latitude and longitude, not just the maps that we usually use and a few globes for the whole school. Well, this is the reality, but I'm just honest with with what is what we have here. That's why we are so thankful, and we are reaching out people who are organizing NASE together with Rosa, together with everyone, to share more of it. And we are planning to conduct trainings. What we learn, we want to share it to our co-teachers in the remote areas specifically, because in the remote areas, we are very fortunate to have this because we don't have much.
Excellent. Okay? Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And we continue working together.
Yeah.
And I would like to open now.
Can I, Rosa, can I make a question before to follow with the next speaker? It's about, for our friends from Filipina. It's about the feeling about the Magallanes-Elcano trip, because here in Argentina, we learned that the end of the trip is Filipinas.
Yes.
And you have, yes, and you have a lot of Spanish influence, the language.
Yes, exactly. And
Silvia,
Obiertos,
your
Maestra.
Yeah, exactly. And you have names and surnames which are a combination between English and Spanish.
Right. Even the names of the people, like Luciano, Mercado.
Exactly. Well, you are the Vera. It's a surname here in
Vera
Argentina too. So my question is, how do you teach this? How do you teach the travel from made by Elcano finally, who arrived finally, Filipinas? And which is your feeling about this trip? Because in Argentina it's important because they finally crossed from the Atlantic to the Pacific, but finally they arrived to Philippines. And how do you teach that? And how do you see this influence? It was good, bad, more or less. And how is the real situation? And how do you transmit the information in the school?
Well, it's not actually bad. It's not actually bad, but anyway, we are being conquered by Spaniards for 300 years. Yeah, but we love what we have today. The Christianism, we have the Catholicism. It's being that we are known for that. We are known as the Christian country for that, and we are more than 80% of the Filipinos in the Philippines are Christians, and they are also Catholics. So it's just only a very good example that we really love the influence of the other countries, and we are actually teaching that in our classroom. Now, the point here is how we teach the history part of the ELCANO's journey. First, it is already integrated in the curriculum as part of the history, the ancient history of the Philippines, not just the integration of astronomy, you know, because not just history, it's also part of astronomy, and it's also part of science. So if we're going to look at the perspective of how we teach this history in our students, one specific grade is allotted for Asian history, and that's a chunk of that topic is coming from this journey. So the perspective is it's not actually bad, it's not actually good, but it is already part of the human lives. We Filipinos already love the influence because it is already in our blood. The names, the words that we use in our daily life, like uno, dos, tres, cuatro. It's a very simple, but we are using it. Yeah. And another thing is,
Jason, also the mentality. You said actually you enjoy to improvise. This absolutely is Spanish.
Yeah. And to give you an idea, we have Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 in PhD class. Our foreign language that we are taking is Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, but unfortunately, I'm not very good in Spanish, though I pass the Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. So it's very clear that this journey is also
us with the Spanish. Next time.
Next time, I'll practice more. So I'd like to share more, but the time will not permit it to do so. No, maybe next time when we meet again in our training, and we will invite again teachers around the Philippines, and we are hoping to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Rosa.
All the members of NASE in Philippines, please say to them, okay? I would like to open the time for Medar. I saw that Medar is probably in a bus or something like this, because he go and back the connection. Medar, I see you.
Yes, Rosa.
Okay, excellent. Where are you in this moment? In a bus?
Yes, now we organize an astronomy event from Togo. We travel the region to region to awareness the people in astronomy. That you notice that I am in a bus.
Thank
now
you.
We are in Parliament. We are with some people to do the hard work to the students and the general public.
Okay, then I would like that you give us one idea about the opinion of your students and the materials that NASE in the school.